Hi, I'm Erica and I'm a paper maché artist, and today I'm making a seated figure of a woman. I already made the suitcase behind her, as you can see it, and you can find that video at the end of this one. Just click on it if you are interested to see how I made it. So I usually start my figures with an armature that is made out of wire, usually steel wire, and then I start wrapping some aluminum foil around her torso, her legs. As you can see it was already in progress. So I just keep adding small pieces of foil. I like foil because it's so flexible and easy to use in curves and just everywhere. Once I have my foil wrapped around the figure, I just paper mask it, as you can see it on this one. And I just start to add little bits of paper mache clay, which is cello clay. I usually use my commercial paper mache that comes from Michael's, and it's been working great for me, but lately I've been experimenting with my own homemade pulp as well. So I'm adding little bits everywhere. What I need to make sure of is to press on it quite a bit, just all over to make it stick to the bit tape. And here you can see the little logos I put because she's a traveler. Her suitcase has some interesting stickers on it with some humor, as you could see. And now it's time to attach her to the suitcase because I like to make my figures quite sturdy and durable. So I took my drill and I drilled a hole through the figure into the suitcase, and I made that hole a little bit wider. And now I'm just going to stick that skewer in it and just secure it to the suitcase with it. And once she's in place, I'm just gonna cut the end of that skewer, and the rest just goes into it, and I'm gonna use a hammer, just a small hammer. I think it's a jeweler's hammer I used there. And as you can see, one of her legs was not done with the pulp because sometimes, just it's easier to not finish it, the whole figure, and just do it later because I might need to adjust the limbs here and there to get the right pose. And so her right leg is already attached to the suitcase, and now I'm working on my other leg, just adding pulp, little bits again, and just make it smooth. I like to use tools a lot, especially at smaller figures, but your hands are fine as well. And here I'm finishing her little foot, just detailing it slowly. One is already done, and I don't make it very, very detailed, just enough to give her that somewhat realistic feel. I never go for truly realistic, just somewhat, because I don't really use models just from my imagination. I make all my figures from my imaginations. And here I start working on her hand. One is already done. Just adding several layers, and sometimes 2, 3, even 4 layers. Once that's done, I do my head. I work on my head, and the head is always last because otherwise the proportion might get wrong, either too small or too large. But this way, at the end, I have a better idea how to make it more proportional, in comparison with her body. And just adding the foil again for her forehead. And now I covered it with pulp. And it's that nice egg shape you should have always for your faces. I'm making some marks and for the eyes, because otherwise things may get shifted in the middle of the process. Unfortunately, I learned this from my own mistakes, so now I'm really careful to center everything, including the nose, which goes on next. And now that little ball for the mouth, another one. She's not looking much right now, more like a Frankenstein girl, but no worries. That's how it usually goes. It's a bit scary at this stage, but they always turn out much better. Let's put it that way. Better looking. So I work slowly on my nose and her features. This is a very detailed work. It takes hours and hours sometimes. And here she is, first wet and now dry. And the last details are done with an electric tool and another layer for her hair. The paper maché clay or pulp always shrinks quite a bit, so and you don't want to put on too much of it because then it takes a long time to dry. So I work in layers. I have my base, and here's my second layer, and she's dry. And here is the finished piece. But there's more to her story, and I hope you subscribe to my channel to hear it next time.